Hi and welcome to Cars and Coffee Stories. Today we are in Los Angeles at Auto Conduct. Next to me is Dominic. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys, man.
A Fairlady in that condition with that color. It's crazy. Tell us more about it.
It's a 71 Datsun 240Z. Completed restore. We did everything for it. We debuted it at SEMA this recently, last year SEMA. Got some good attention to it, and it was a car that it is my personal car. A lot of time in the past we have always built for clients or for friends, but this one is my personal car. It's everything that I've always presented to a client that they said no, or it was too pricey or too extravagant. I got to do it to my personal car. This car had a lot of titanium, a lot of carbon bits that a lot of clients didn't have the budget for. So if you look at the engine bay later, it's all titanium. It's an element that a lot of people are afraid to work with because of price, and the formality of it is very hard and difficult. And then we did a lot of carbon fiber. The whole interior is all carbon fiber. We lighten up the car. The car originally around 2,500 pounds, 2,400 pounds. The car right now sits at 1,800 pounds, making about 430 to the wheel. So, equivalent to like the current day, modern day, Lamborghini Hurricane or, 800 horsepower new GTR.
So how difficult is it to drive?
No, it's actually very attainable. The drivability of it, it's great. It feels like if you will hop into a Porsche GT3. All suspension, every single bits of it has been built so that you can adjust the calibration of the car, how it handles, how it drives. It was a car that I built that I didn't want it to sit in the garage or in the living room. Even though we built it so that it looks pretty in every aspect and every detail of the car, but a car, it's pointless if you can't get behind it and just slam gears. And that's the purpose of this car. When I built it, I wanted a car that I can get in, hop down the highway if I want to, and if I bring it to a show, it will sweep out every car there. That's the point of it.
Since when do you own it, and how long it took you to get it to the stage?
This car, I owned the car for a little bit over a year. This car roughly took about 6 months to build. We stripped the car completely down to bare metal, cut out all the rust, shave everything we need to do, and then most of the time was spent in body work, and then it's we've been doing this for quite some time. It's like we've been in the business for like 10 years, so we kind of knew what to approach and what plan to take. But with every build, there's always obstacle and details and things. And with this one, because we stepped forward and we wanted to work with titanium, and so it delayed time a little bit more.
Tell us more about your business. What are you doing exactly?
So it started off as a hobby. I built a lot of these cars in my garage for fun. Over time, we used to build full built, and we still do, and we only build 2 or 3 cars a year for private clients. But we were starting to make a lot of parts now. We make everything out of titanium. Parts that people can't imagine to do, we mill them out. We do lug nuts, we do bars, we do anything that you can imagine out of titanium. It's lighter, it's stronger, and it's corrosion resistant. So the car originally came with a inline 6, and it's a straight 6. Makes beautiful power, pushing probably like 160 horsepower originally. So this isn't an original car. I don't build cars to be, I guess a lot of people like the classic and the restored part of things. I like to make things a little bit more fun. So we went against the grain. We took a inline 6 and we made it into a 4-cylinder engine, producing about 430 to the wheels. It's lighter, not by a lot, but the engine was able to move back more, so now it becomes more of a mid-engine car. So if you see the engine struts, everything moves back, custom mount. The whole motor is built from the bottom up with pistons, cams, all the internal works to it. What's uniqueness about this car is that if you look at the engine bay later, there is no throttle cable. Everything is controlled by a drive-by-wire electrical system. Now you don't see that, and this is probably the first or if only SR20, which is the engine code, in a Z that is a drive-by-wire car. So electronic was done by my good friend who runs a company called Rywire, and everything is at a mil spec components. So pretty much everything is designed so that we can pull the motor out anytime we need to. So if you look closely, there's a plug back here that pretty much if you twist it, all the wire comes off and the engine can just come out. And that's the point of when we design cars and when we build cars, is that you have a couple things that you keep in mind, is that the drivability, the form of it, how pretty it should look, and the fixability. How can you maintenance this car? Because a lot of people would just put things together and fab and make things really nice, but then when it comes to changing oil on it, it makes it completely difficult to do. And so, right here you can see I can pretty much touch my hand the oil filter, to make things that it's easier to do, and that's the that's the part that I really enjoy about building these cars, is that we can take something and completely change the format. Yeah, and everything you see here, it's a lot of it is custom fab. We made our own titanium bolts because we couldn't find one that we really like and or have the structure that I want. So if you look at anything that's color component in this engine bay, it's all made out of titanium.
What about the wheels? I love those wheels.
Wheels are custom built by a company in Japan called Work Wheels. It's a kind of like a throwback classic to the original Work Wheel that came out back in, I believe, the 70s or the 80s. I really like color wheels. There's just something different when it's bronze and gold and then red, right? It's kind of a color combo. And then we use our titanium lug nuts. So, every component in the car has to tie together. It's not just something that we just go, here, let's put it on the car and call it a day, And so we, even if you look at it later on, you look straight into the wheel, the rotors, it fits perfectly within the wheel opening so that you don't see any gaps. And it's a performance wheel. It's a 4-piston caliber. And, with this car, we use a lot of elements from every other car. The calibers and pistons on this car, it's from a Toyota 4x4. We have Porsche components. We have Subaru components. Everything that I think it's great about some other car, we took it and we put it onto this car and we make it so that it's fully functional and drivable.
I love the color. Where came the idea from?
The color, it's a unique red PPG color, and I have always built white, silver, and black car. That has been my signature stuff. But my wife is a total opposite of me. She's very girly, she's very feminine, and that's what I love about her. And this is one of a lipstick color of hers that matches. And I thought it would be cool to do a red to a Fairlady Z, right? So, and I really enjoy the color. It's not too red, it's not too dark red, and it's kind of in between. And at a certain angle, you can see it reflects the sun, and it will switch to orange and dark red and light red in any angle. So it's kind of cool about it. I'll pop the door. So we did extensively a lot of work with carbon. The door handles made out of carbon. You open inside, every single bit's from the door panel. So the whole interior, the seats are made by us, the dash, it's all carbon fiber, and the whole interior actually weighs only about 50 pounds. Yeah, and then our shifter, it's our titanium shifter. It's another business of mine that we are starting to form, and it changed the shift point of that shifter to a very short throw, and it's very precise. And so if you notice, once you sit inside the car, you get really comfortable, and you can shift as fast and you react as quickly as possible, because it's a car like this with this much power and this much weight, you want to be able to react as fast as you can. The cool part about it is that, it is a classic car, but everything in the car is modernized. All the electrical stuff, every single component of it, it's a modernized computer. In the middle, there's a tablet that hooks up to the computer, and it's Wi-Fi active. So at any given time, my buddy who's my tuner, which is from RD Engineering, we can be on the track, and literally he can Wi-Fi into the car, adjust the fuel, everything, any components inside the engine, if we needed to have more fuel, less air, more boost, or anything, they can adjust that right at home. So that's the cool part about the car, and that people don't see.
All right, Dominic, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming by, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.